Hello Sagittarius, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Sagittarius for the month of May 2022. Now Sagittarius, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now Sagittarius, I do not offer personal readings and I will not send you a message on any platform. So if you get a message from someone, that is not me. They're impersonating me and they're trying to scam you. Please do not get scammed. I also do content on my Instagram, so if that's your thing, definitely give me a follow there. Let's go ahead and see what we have here for you, Sagittarius. Now I am using the Gilded Tarot. There are links to this deck in the description below. You can either purchase it through the literal link to the Gilded Tarot, or you can buy the Easy Tarot, which has a copy of the Gilded Tarot. Many of you ask me how to buy this, so that is how. Also, less than 50% of the people who watch my content are actually subscribed, and so if you do watch my videos regularly and you've not yet hit the subscribe button, please do consider doing that. Really helps my channel grow in a big way. All right, so let me make sure everything is set up here and we'll get right into it for you, Sagittarius. Okay. I think that looks just about good enough to me for now. Energy on the bottom, you have judgments. So judgment time for Sagittarius. I have to tell you, this is probably, so for the collective, it feels like May is going to be an extremely fun month. And I think that this is also going to be the case for you, but your reading is the most realistic, is the most down-to-earth reading that I've seen in these monthly readings. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, but at any rate, the Judgment card does ask you to come down to earth. It does ask you to get real with yourself and check in on yourself if you are, and ask yourself if you are doing the things that you need to do. This is about you looking at the one thing that may be in your way towards achieving enlightenment or attaining the completion of a goal. And the reason being is that this is the second to last card in the suit or in the major arcana. And so it says that you can now come into some type of realization around what it is that you need to do to complete something. This is also a card of karma. It says that the actions that you've taken are on the table. They're rendering out in real time. Every action that you've taken is in front of you to look at and analyze. And you can also infer, probably, as I've been talking about this, that this is more about the logic side of your life, less about the intuitive, and this is more about just putting the facts on the table and saying, okay, what's right, what's wrong, what's serving me, what's not serving me, type of energy. And through that, the Judgment card can bring about a spiritual awakening, because when you get into that period of radical self-evaluation and radical self-honesty, that can be very spiritual. Okay, that can be very, very spiritual energy. And so it is about logic, but it can bring about spiritual revelations in the process of looking at everything that you've done. So hopefully that makes sense. So taking a look here, let me just make sure everything is in view, as you know I like to do. So in your current situation, you do have the Ace of Swords. So this is a very, very good card here. So the first two cards are very air, okay? Very logic. The Ace of Swords is more about the communicative side of life, the logical side of life, the air side of life, right? And the Ace of Swords can bring breakthroughs in your life generally, but certainly in those areas of your life. It can also bring, it can see the clouds clearing. It can be a feeling of getting unstuck, of moving forward. Along with that here, this Ace of Swords says that there is a new beginning on the horizon, and there is a victory that can bring about a new beginning, or a new beginning that brings about a victory. And so it's a very, very good card to find. And who doesn't like a new beginning, right? I know Sagittarius people do. I myself am a Sagittarius rising, so we like this new beginning, new adventures, new things, right? And so you are certainly getting one of those here in this month. And I think it's something to do relating to just the facts of your situation and your scenario. In the problem position, you do have the Queen of Wands. This could be referring to you. And I actually think I'm going to roll with that, because what I feel like is going on here is, and this is not me coming at you, this is just what's happening in the cards. It's almost like if things are not going well, it's you only have yourself to blame in this situation. I truly don't see other people's energy here. We see some sparring with the Five of Wands, but that could also be internal sparring. I don't think that there is another person's energy here. We do have this King of Cups in the future. But for the most part, I feel like you are the only thing that's standing in your way towards having an extremely rewarding period of time here in May, which is a good problem to have. Because it says that, again, as the Judgment card asks you to do, it says that you can put all the facts on the table and look at them. And don't forget to, also, maybe the thing about the Queen of Wands is it can also be somebody who takes on too much. And so you may want to deal with the problems that you have already instead of creating new problems. Now, in the past, you do have this Ten of Pentacles. I love this. This is about major abundance in your life. This can see an inheritance coming in or news of an inheritance or something like that. This can be money being passed through generations, but it could also just talk about your empire, right? Some of you here, maybe in the past, you've spent time building your empire, and you've spent time, building your legacy, maybe even, and that could have come in many forms. This is bigger types of purchases, such as like real estate or, car purchases, like larger types of investments, larger types of purchases. Now, this has already happened, okay? So this is not something that I'm forecasting, and I can't provide legal or financial advice, but it is. I feel like maybe some of you here have either, made a sale, made a purchase, made some money moves in your life in some ways here in the past that is maybe helping you here in the present at this time. I also feel like some of you, if this is not necessarily a money move, this may be a business move in that maybe you have taken the course that then unlocks the skill that then unlocks the thing that you're going to be doing in the future, or you've picked up a new skill, you picked up something new, or you've invested in yourself in some way that maybe unlocks the next stage of your legacy or the next path that you may be going down. In the future, you do have this King of Cups. So the King of Cups is water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but it could be just anybody who has water qualities about them. And of course, this card can refer to you. Doesn't matter what gender you are. I do not attach genders to the cards here. And so it doesn't matter, whether this person's a water sign or whatever. This could just mean that for some of you here in the future, your emotional mastery over a situation is going to be extremely important. The way that you emotionally respond to something is going to be extremely important. King of Cups has a high EQ. They have a high emotional quotient. Okay, they are very emotionally intelligent, and they have attained emotional mastery over their life. And so this could be something that you are very, this could be something that you find yourself doing here in the future. The other thing is that there could be like a situation that maybe is a little bit emotional here in the future, but again, because you can see, but again, this sees you handling that effectively because of everything I just said, but also you can see the symbolism of them sitting in the water, indicating that they are capable, ready, and willing to handle any challenges, particularly emotional challenges that are thrown their way. Now, on your thoughts, on your mind, or on your conscious awareness, you do have this Four of Cups. The Four of Cups here, this person is potentially thinking about the past, okay? They're thinking about these 3 cups that have already happened, and this is leading them to a state of boredom and apathy. Along with that, they're potentially missing out on an opportunity. Now, they have not yet missed out on the opportunity. It's still there. It is still right in front of them. But it does warn you to be careful that you do not miss out on opportunities. And it also says if you catch yourself in a state of boredom, to recognize that and be aware of that and do something about it, right? Do something about it. And so some of you may, in May, catch yourself in that period of time and work through that very quickly. Now, in the subconscious, in the lower row, the hidden or what you cannot see, you do have this Two of Pentacles. So this is a change in finances, and by default, this is a good change. Now remember, you have this here paired with the Ten of Pentacles in the past. You have the Ace of Swords in your current situation. And so I do not feel like this is a negative change. In fact, I feel like there is something around your energy and a careful management of your personal energy here in the month of May with this King of Cups, and also this idea of the Two of Pentacles weighing something, weighing an option, weighing a decision, as well as having the Queen of Wands in the problem position. The Queen of Wands can say that in a problem situation can just warn you to not take on too much. And so it's almost like for some of you here, there's like energy management is very important. So yeah, that's just something that I'm feeling with that Two of Pentacles. Now, in the staff, in the direction that you are headed, in your current influence, the way that you influence the situation, you have the Two of Wands. Look at this, 2-2 energy, right? You have options here. Okay, you definitely have options. And what's interesting here is there are two options right in front of you here. As you can see, this person's like at a fork in the road. But there's also this other option, which is coming out of the sky, right? And so you can see the two options clearly, but what you might not see is this other alternative solution to your problem. And I do feel like maybe some of you are going to be aware of that in this month, where you may have been approaching something in the wrong way. And you may have been approaching something in a way that you always used to approach something, when it's maybe time to innovate or try something new or change something up here in this month of May. In the external influence, you do have your energy. This is Temperance. This is the Sagittarius card. You are like, it's all on you in this month, Sagittarius. This month is truly how you want to make it. Okay, with this Temperance in the external, meaning what's coming in outside of you is you, right? And you have the Queen of Wands in the problem position, your energy there. And so I think this is very important to relay this message to you, which is this is for good or for bad. This month is about you, and it's about the way that you respond to something, and it's about how you manage your energy. You can see the flow of energy between the two cups. The Temperance card is a card of alchemy. It is a card of patience, balance, and moderation in your life and towards something. And it can bring a significant situation into your life, but you must approach that situation with balance. And so in your hopes and fears, you do have this Five of Wands, worried about conflict. I also feel like some of you have an internal conflict here that maybe you are looking to really surmount at this time with this Five of Wands. It's perhaps that some of you, I will want to get a clarification on these last two cards. I'll be interested to see what these three are, which we're going to look at in a moment. But it's almost like those cards a little bit out of place here at this time, because we see these paths, we see these opportunities, and we see this situation here very clearly on this reading. But with the Five of Swords in the outcome, this can speak to defeat, but it also says that the Five of Swords says that there's a totally recoverable situation happening in your life. This is not like the Ten of Swords where there's no hope or there's no recovery, right? With the Ten of Swords potentially. The Five of Swords says you still have a lot to go. And what's going on here, I think, with this Five of Wands and the Five of Swords and this King of Cups in the future, I do think that maybe in May there could be an emotional trigger for some of you, or there could be a challenge, that there could be a curveball thrown in your direction, and I think you can hit the ball, but I think it's going to be it depends, right? It depends on how you respond to something, and I think that's going to be very important for Sagittarius people. Let's go ahead and start to clarify. Yeah, so look at this. You have the Wheel of Fortune, Queen of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands. Okay, very good energy to find here. Wheel of Fortune is the wheel of your destiny arriving. Okay, it's the wheel of the destiny spinning in your direction, and it says that there is an inevitable change happening in your life. There's no doubt, there's no denying that. There's a big change. But the difference with the Wheel of Fortune and other cards of change is that it's typically good, and it's typically all change can be good, but the Wheel of Fortune in particular is like there's a little bit of luck, right? There's a little bit of luck, there's a little bit of fortune involved. This is Jupiter energy, this is expansion, this is growth. But the thing about the Wheel of Fortune is you have to take advantage, because you never know when the wheel will spin in this direction again. And so it says take advantage of it. You have the Queen of Pentacles here, which is about your financial independence. It's about making practical choices, which I think is very important in this month, as we started off with this Judgment card, which is you being real with yourself. And now we have this Nine of Wands, not giving up. Okay, when you face this test, which could be coming in for some Sagittarius people here, it's important that you do not give up, particularly on yourself. Yeah, look at this. So in the Kipper cards, you do have this Great Fortune, Lovers, and Thoughts. I love the energy of Wheel of Fortune with the Great Fortune coming in here. So look, I mean, for some of you here, you may be weighing a decision around entering into a partnership with somebody. This is somebody you already know, you've probably already been talking to. I also think for some of you here, you're putting everything out on the table. All the cards are on the table. And you're deciding on how to kind of handle the cards, what card to choose, what card to pick, what cards do I need to drop, what cards are working, what cards are not working. And I think some of you here, this process of putting everything on the table could be extremely prosperous with the Great Fortune and the Wheel of Fortune card. That's major fortune energy, okay? But there's also this other situation. Remember, the Two of Pentacles, the Pentacles can go in either direction, gain or loss, right? And so there is this other situation and timeline here where it's like there's like loss and conflict. So it's about how you respond in this month to something. Yeah, look, so you have in the outcome here, or in the Oracle outcome here, you do have the Summer, Bask in Joy and Light, High Priestess, Harness Mystic Power, and Winter, Take Care of Your Needs. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think there's this balance here of May being an extremely fun, happy, energetic, lively period of time for the entire collective, which you have here with this summer energy. And at the same time, for you in particular, Sagittarius, you need to balance that fun energy out with also making sure you do the things you need to do with this winter, take care of your needs. And if you can put those two things together, you wield this power of being able to bring some type of fortune into your life. Wow, really incredible reading. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. I'll see you in the next reading.